Hey guys, Chris Dorr here from the Pennsylvania Firearms Association. I'm right outside of the committee room where they just passed a whole slew of gun control bills. I'm going to break them down here for you for a few minutes. But jump on in here, everybody. Let me know where you guys are checking in from. Help this video get seen by a whole lot more people. As if you guys have been watching our emails or getting our videos, or maybe you've been watching our Facebook page today, you know that today in the Pennsylvania House Judiciary Committee, the Democrats, the radical left, are again advancing their gun control agenda. Chairman Tim Briggs put, I think, 8 or 9 different gun control bills on the floor of the committee for a vote today. And of course, there's no hearings on this stuff. You don't get to come in as a private citizen and testify against these things. No, they just simply hold committee votes. And that's what happened here today. The first and foremost, the worst of them all, was their assault weapons ban. I believe it's House Bill 336. I think this is Representative Sanchez. This thing is really bad because normally there is some kind of a proviso. First of all, any AR-15 ban or assault weapons bill ban is bad in any capacity. They didn't even try to hide it this time, though. What this bill does, it makes it so that all future AR-15 sales are prohibited under law. You can't buy an AR-15, you can't go down to your local store, and I think even like a Ruger 1022 qualifies or classifies an assault weapons as an assault weapon underneath their legislation. So from this point forward, if this bill would pass and get signed into law by Governor Shapiro, and of course he would rubber stamp this thing in a heartbeat, from this point on, all assault weapons sales in Pennsylvania would cease. A couple different things to talk about with this bill. One of the things that they made it very clear in the committee today is that if you own AR-15s or any firearm that they classify as an assault rifle, it ends with you. There is no passing these firearms down to your children or your grandchildren, any of those things. That stuff all becomes illegal. There was a question asked by the chair of the committee, Rob Kaufman. He asked, well, what happens to those firearms then? What happens to the people, the children who would inherit these? What happens then? And the caucus lawyer for the Democrat Party was like, well, it's not addressed in this bill. We quite frankly don't care. So that was one of the pieces of legislation. There is a ban on 3D printing of firearms and firearms parts. That passed out of committee today. I think Representative Ledbetter did a great job. He got up there and said, actually, when you look at what 3D printing is, it's actually an exercise of your free speech because it originates with the code. And so this bill is not only against the Second Amendment, it's also against the First Amendment. They voted that thing through. There was another bill that regulated ghost guns. And of course, Malcolm Kenyatta, the radical left Democrat who can't keep control of his emotions. He sounds like a teenage girl up there half the time. He's just railing and ranting and raving. He throws numbers out and says that 500 and some ghost guns were recovered, and then Representative Paul Schemmel got up there and said, actually, how many of those were unserialized lowers, because that's what you're really targeting here with this bill. And of course, they couldn't answer that. Again, back to the idiot stick, Malcolm Kenyatta, he got up there and was talking all about how the AFT can't solve these gun crimes. I'm like, this guy's been listening to Joe Biden too much. He doesn't even know what federal alphabet agency that he's referring to. And so there's more electronic reporting for mental health issues and stuff like that. They're constantly working to increase the size and scope of government, and they're constantly working to trample out our Second Amendment freedoms. Folks, this is a red alert situation. I don't know how to wake people up more than to simply tell you what they are doing is very concerted. They have help and they have support now from the White House and their what do you call it, the Office of Gun Violence Prevention. This stuff is being run out of the White House now, and they have all kinds of federal support. What that really means is that they're having that Barack Obama's White House is actually running this kind of stuff. This is a concerted effort, and right here in Pennsylvania, what they're trying to do is lob enough gun control bills over to the Senate side to force them to pass their hallmark bills, which is red flag gun confiscation and universal gun registration. I've got one of these Democrat legislators looking at me right now, a bunch of commies. But they're trying to put pressure on the Senate to pass this stuff, and they're doing it by lobbying heaps and heaps and heaps of gun control bills over there. I will say I will say, however, that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to get these bills out of the House now. As you guys might remember, back in May of this year, they passed red flag gun confiscation and they passed universal gun registration out of the House and sent them both over to the Senate. And they did that because they had the report of 9 Republicans, people like Valerie Gaddis, people like Casey Tomlinson, all these gaggle of women. But they got support from 9 different Republicans, Rob Mercuri. But when you look at it right now and where we are politically speaking in the election cycle, I don't think any one of these rhino Republicans, even right now, are going to want to take a vote on a gun control bill. So we have an opportunity to fight this thing and stop all of these new gun control bills right now. Chiefly among them is that AR-15 ban. And so I think I have a link. Let me just check. I'm going to try to drop a link in the comment section really quickly. I apologize. I should have had this ready. Maybe it's not going to let me. Yeah, it's not going to let me. In the description of this video, there is a link already. We are urging everybody to fire off an email to your state representative and demand that they vote no on this legislation. If you live in Minority Leader Brian Cutler's district, tell him to grow a pair of something. Probably won't be what we want it to be, but grow something and demand 100% loyalty from the Republican caucus in opposition to this stuff. The last thing that Republicans need going into the 2024 election is to have Republicans flaking off and joining the Democrats to hammer through their gun control agenda. The effects of that will be, and maybe it's already unstoppable, I don't know. The Republicans and those 9 Republicans and former Speaker Cutler inflicted massive damage on the Republicans' chances of reclaiming a majority when they allowed those 9 Republicans to pass those gun control bills or to vote for those gun control bills previously in the year. But we have an opportunity to try to stop them right now. So I'm asking everybody to click the link that's included with this video and fire off an email to your state representative and urge them, demand that they vote no on all of these gun control bills. Another couple things you guys can do. Number 1, please share this video with all of your friends. Tag them in the comment section. I don't care what you do. Tag them in the comment section, copy and paste the link and share it on your own Facebook pages. Ask them to do the same thing. Folks, we can stop this stuff if enough people get down off the bleachers and onto the court and play in this game. Now, that link that I have for you guys, it's easy, okay? We've already done the work. All you have to do is type in your address, and we've already got a pre-written email there for you guys to send to your state representative, and by putting your address in there, it lets our computer system know who is your state representative. So you don't have to figure out who your state rep is, you don't have to find out who your state senator is, none of those things. You can simply fill in your info, fire off that email, and you can and be in touch with them that way. So share this video so that your friends can do the same thing, because this link that we're sharing with you, it's universal. Anybody in the state of Pennsylvania can take advantage of it. So we have targeting on right now. It only goes to your state representative. Earlier today, we were targeting the Judiciary Committee. We're past that point now. These bills are out of the Judiciary Committee. I think one of them didn't get passed out of the Judiciary Committee today. I'm not sure which one that was. I'd have to go back and look. But this is bad stuff, and they are mobilizing their base. These Democrats, these radical nutjob lefties, they're mobilizing their base to try to heap pressure onto Senate Republicans. And I can see right now we have Doug Mastriano, Senator Doug Mastriano, whose office is right down there, in full agreement. So he's one of the guys who's leading the fight back against this stuff in the Senate side. But we got to make sure that that caucus is hearing from people, because I can guarantee you that that both caucuses are hearing from the gun control proponents. So if we sit here and don't answer back, you know, that's what happens. You get guys like Tom Killian who sit there and think, okay, well, maybe it's okay to cast these votes. Maybe it's okay to stand there with former Governor Wolf and introduce these gun control bills. You had people like Todd Stevens and Chris Quinn and all these people who eventually lost their seats because they thought they had to support gun control. We need to make sure that these Senate Republicans are hearing loud and clear from the base, especially as we gear up for the 2024 election. So folks, take a moment, share this video, take action yourselves, contact your state reps, and we'll be there every step of the way to let you know what you guys can do. We appreciate all that you've done in the last 48 hours since we learned about this. You guys have been fantastic. Can't thank you guys enough, and we'll be back with more later. See you guys.